Curbio goes nationwide. At least one of its services is going nationwide, but I would suspect that the rest of the services that they offer will follow right alongside it. Now, what is Curbio? Curbio is something that is relatively new. It's a company that will update a home, remodel a home, or upgrade a home, if you will, in preparation for sale. So whenever you as a real estate agent go to a listing presentation, there are some recommendations that you give to the homeowners that, hey, maybe we should not have this wall color. Maybe we should repair this. Maybe we should upgrade that. There are suggestions that you give before you actually go to market. Now, it's at that point that the seller has to decide, hey, am I going to trust this realtor, this agent, and put out the money with the hope and expectation that it will bring me more money on the sale? Well, that's a decision that a lot of the times would be, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sell it as is. But Curbio found that spot in that niche where, hey, we'll take on the risk where, these recommendations that actually Curbio gives of, hey, maybe we should update, maybe we should upgrade, maybe we should repair these things here, and we'll get paid at closing. How about that? So when you're getting the money for the home sale, you pay us, right? So it's that pay at closing model where the risk is, there's minimizing the risk, and the risk is now put on by Curbio. So that's essentially the model. That's how Curbio originally started. And now Curbio, we'll look at the news real quick, and then we go back into what this can mean for you as a real estate agent, because there's a lot of benefits. So Curbio has now gone nationwide. We'll read this and then we'll get into more tactical ways that we can leverage this. Curbio has announced that it's expanding its pay at closing home staging. So again, we're talking about the home staging part of their business. This is not necessarily the remodeling part. It's just the home staging service to all markets following a successful pilot period and increased demand nationwide. Curbio's physical home staging services include a team of design experts, blah, 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 place furniture and decor to appeal to potential buyers and accentuate the home's most appealing assets. And according to a release, the process of getting started with home staging begins with a complimentary, no obligation estimate with customized packages available depending on the number of rooms. Now, let's back up for a quick second. Again, this is based off of, this is the home staging department, and home staging in and of itself will actually bring you value as a homeowner and real estate agents. This is a service that you can offer to your clients, letting them know that, hey, again, the risk is not going to be incurred by you, at least at this present time. When we're closing, that's when you pay. So with home staging, that can be a couple $100 or several $100 into thousands of dollars, depending on the size of the room, depending on how long you have the property listed for and staged. So there is, again, that's another decision that the homeowner has to make. So you have the staging aspect, especially if the homeowner has already moved on to their other home. That home staging aspect is so important where, again, the homeowner would need to trust you as an agent to incur that additional expense to have it staged, to have it ready to go. So when buyers come in, they can see it for themselves. They don't have to imagine anything. They can see what the property can look like with pretty good furniture, right? So that is, again, that's an expense that is typically done ahead of time. In some cases, you could do a deposit from a homeowner's perspective. You could do a deposit, pay a portion of it, almost like a deposit or a holding fee, and then when the property closes, that's when they pay. That's how many, I shouldn't say most, but many of the home staging companies work. But also a good portion of home stagers will charge you right at the beginning, right? Because it's capital extensive, right? So anyway, that's the model. So with Curbio expanding this particular service of home staging, you as the agent, you can leverage this for your business. So, list with me. List with me. Rephrase that. List with me and stage for free. That's what that's a tagline that we give our agents quite a bit. Where list with me, stage for free. Now, typically the agent at that point would need to make a decision. Am I going to actually pay this myself, or now that you have the option of Curbio, you could introduce this option. Now, technically, of course, it's not free, but that's when it gives you an opportunity to speak with the homeowner, let them know of how the program works, right? So whenever you sell with me, I will stage the property for you, right? So again, introduce the Curbio aspect. So then the actual money, the expense actually comes out at the closing table. So you're deferring that expense, if you will. And ideally, if you do it right, once this is staged, ideally you're making more on the sell, right? Statistically, home stagers will tell you that you make more money. And in reality, from our personal experience, that has been the case. So you're making more money on the sale of the home. So the homeowner is happy, you're happy, and in this case, Curbio is happy. So the fact that Curbio is now nationwide gives you an opportunity to leverage this to generate more business, to generate more listings. Now let's take it one step further, because again, we're just talking about the service aspect. One service aspect, which is the home staging. They're remodeling and then pay at close strategy, which is how Curbio actually grew into existence. That's the entire niche that they were operating, and then they just added some additional services. But from the remodeling standpoint, you can operate it the same way, right? I can guarantee you $20,000 more if you sell with me, right? And there again, introduce the Curbio aspect. Whenever you are putting a property out to market, well, there are certain things that can be fixed. There are certain things that can be addressed. And when you're selling, then that's when the expense of the remodel gets done, right? Now, I don't believe that Curbio has expanded that part of its service or that part of its business nationwide. I believe most of their stuff is in California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, those types of markets, as you can imagine, the larger markets. So that's another strategy. Again, you have the strategy of leveraging the home staging aspect, because now Curbio is giving that option to you, but you also have that aspect of taking it one step further and offering the remodeling. I wrote some lines here that you might want to post on your social media. Upgrade your home at no cost. Again, technically, the no cost is actually at the beginning. You're paying at the end, but again, once you sell, ideally with the remodel that has been done through Curbio, you're paying at close, but you've made more money at closing, right? So then again, the home seller's happy, you're happy, and also the buyer, of course, is happy because they don't necessarily have to do a lot of remodeling or adjustment at that point, because in theory, a lot of the repairs already been done, but then that's when Curbio gets paid. Make money on your next home remodel. That's a different way of saying the same thing. Get paid to upgrade your home, right? So with a whole, get more money and get paid, that comes upon the expectation that when you sell, you're able to sell for more, right? That's the expectation. So the fact that Curbio has gone nationwide, I think is a huge value asset obviously for them, a huge value add for them, but it's also a huge value add for you and your business, that you can now leverage this nationwide tool to generate more listings for your business. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow.